So yesterday, me and my business partner dropped our first clothing brand drop for our brand Club Utopia. We didn't sell out, okay? We didn't sell out. This is supposed to be our hero drop, something we worked very, very hard on. Let's get back into my drop. So basically, we didn't sell out. We were planning to sell out because it's a very small bulk, right? We're testing things out. We were on a hiatus for a long time. We ended up selling about 60% of our t-shirts and about 25% of our shorts, okay? We also gave about 2 sets, so 2 pairs of shorts and 2 pairs of t-shirts away to influencers, okay? Now, this is the reality of owning a clothing brand as well, because unless you're super plugged in and you just are friends with a bunch of influencers or friends with people that, now most people would probably think that results that me and my business partner got were horrible, but it was actually great because it gave us positive data. We had positive data, okay? Not everything is going to sell every drop, not supreme, okay? So get used to it, okay? But why do some brands become a part of people's identities, and why are most brands forgotten, okay? But you guys are probably wondering who I am. My name is Joshua, or I go by Hockey on my socials. And over the last year, I'd say last really 3 years, I've been trying to build up something very serious, a clothing brand of mine called Club Utopia. I'm not telling you that I built a multi-billion-dollar clothing brand. I'm just documenting the process while we're still in it, okay? The wins, the mistakes, and everything we're learning along the way. If you're someone who wants to build a brand, start a business, or just create something people actually care about, this series is for you. You guys are creating with me. You're going to see the flaws, the fails, everything. Like, it's 100% authentic, okay? Every day, guys, clothing brands launch, okay? Most of them have good graphics. Most of them have decent blanks, okay? Most of them even have solid websites with the advancement of multiple AI tools and just multiple tutorials out there, right? But almost none of them are memorable, okay? Now think about this, okay? If you're probably watching this video, you probably follow a few clothing brands on Instagram and TikTok, and or you're just in clothes, so you get recommended those pages, right? Tell me the last 5 brands that you've seen that weren't huge brands. And if you can remember them, then kudos to you. I can remember some of them, but the ones that I can remember are brands that follow this strategy that we're going to be talking about in today's video. And that's brand identity and how to kind of build it up, and why brand identity is so important. Another thing I want to also say about this is I do not think that these brands are bad. None of these brands are bad. Like, I'm not going to lie. There are so many good brands out there. The biggest problem is that brands don't answer question, okay? This one singular question is that, and as a why should people care about your brand, okay? I'm going to talk about Club Utopia a little bit and kind of the basis of it, right? Club Utopia did not start with a t-shirt. It started with the feeling you get when you're sitting in the airport chasing something bigger, which we're actually in the airport right now. We're in the Tampa airport. Shout out Kanye, we saw that. But, walk through a city you dreamed about, being in a crowd of thousands of people who all feel alive for the same moment. To me, Club Utopia is about ambition, escapism, nostalgia, modern loneliness, trying to build a life that feels bigger than where you started. And once you understand that, designing clothes becomes a lot easier. Okay, when I first started getting into the clothing brand space, bro, I'm not gonna lie. When I got into the space, the style / main trend was the really like Atlanta style cropped, crop style, Hellstar graphics, big bright graphics all over pieces. And instead of actually creating my own identity for my brand and actually creating something that people could relate to, kind of was just copying the Hellstar formula. And guess what, guys? It did not work, okay? I got a couple of sales, but overall, I didn't create something authentic and genuine, okay? That ruined me, okay? When I launched my first collection, I'm not gonna say I didn't sell anything. I said I sold a few pieces, okay. This newest collection, like I said, we did not sell out. We sold about 65% of the t-shirts and about 25% of the shorts, okay. Obviously, I did want to sell out, okay. We even seeded products to influencers, okay. But looking back, I don't think that selling out would have even taught me as much about running a clothing brand, okay. Now we're gonna get in a little bit of analytics. Now this drop showed me what people liked. It showed that the t-shirt that we dropped resonated with people more than the shorts. And then we learned where our content connected at people, okay? Where it got people, what really drove people to go and click on our Instagram. We have to cover the wheel of death. Always good to know what you need to be working on, because in the clothing brand space, there's always something that you need to be working on. There really shouldn't be any day where your ass is just sitting down all Molly and Jolly, bro. You got shit to do. You got ads to create. You got to be thinking about ads. You got to be thinking about models. You got to be thinking about pieces when you're going to first get your pieces initially created into samples and some more things like that. Okay. We're going to get into that. Okay. Now, this is something that I think that a lot of clothing brand founders mess up on, and that is chasing products. Okay. I'm trying to chase a meaning and a feeling that I can then sell to the customer, and the customer can resonate more with than just, oh, this is a fire t-shirt. Okay. Products change, collection change, algorithms change, but if people believe in for what your brand stands for, they'll keep coming back. Okay. Why do you think Supreme and Louis Vuitton and Chanel and Gucci and Burberry and there's so many other brands I could probably name off, those brands right there, why do you think they are still so popular? Yeah, like I said before my computer died, the series is going to be documenting everything, me building Club Utopia, growing my audience, launching new collections, showing you guys the numbers, the mistakes, the wins. Nothing is going to be hidden. I want to be 100% transparent, okay? But we're going to be talking about the next episode. I'm going to be breaking down how I went from around 1,000 monthly views to around 30,000 monthly views and what we changed. And I'm going to tell any brand that's trying to get attention to use those tips and tricks that I'm going to be showing you guys. And if you guys are building something of your own, subscribe. I'd love to have you guys along for the journey. It's your boy Hockey, and I'm out.